Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Car Buying and Refinancing Simplified webinar presented by Signal Financial Federal Credit Union. We thank you for your time and thank you for joining us today. Before we go into our content, we wanted to go through some introductions so you all know who we are. So my name is Saeed Halim, and I'm the VP for Real Estate and Consumer Lending here at Signal Financial Federal Credit Union. I'm going to turn it over to Carissa so she can introduce herself as well.
Hi everyone, I'm Carissa Driver and I'm the manager for the Consumer Lending Department here at Signal Financial, and I really hope you enjoy the webinar today.
All right, thank you, Carissa. So the topics that we will talk about today is we'll start off with figuring out a monthly payment for when you buy or refinance. That's usually the starting point for most people when they're considering refinancing their existing car loan or considering buying a car. The next thing we'll do is we'll go into some car buying research and tips, and we'll close out with what the next steps would be if you are interested in moving forward with buying a car or refinancing your existing car loan. So to start us off, we'll start with figuring out a comfortable monthly payment. So this applies to both the consideration to buy a car or the consideration to refinance an existing loan that you have. There are plenty of calculators out there, a lot of good ones that are out there. To keep it simple, we're using the Google calculator as our example. So you simply go to Google web search, you type in car loan calculator, and what you see on your screen is what will come up. And as you can see, you have a place to plug in a loan amount, you plug in an interest rate, you plug in the loan period in months, and what it'll output to you is a monthly payment as well as the total cost of the car loan. So you notice in this scenario here, the loan amount is $30,000. The interest rate that we put in is 4.99. So again, this would be an estimate of what your interest rate would be, and the only way to determine what your interest rate is would be to apply and have your credit reviewed, your income reviewed, and then from there we'd be able to determine what your interest rate would be. So this is just an example. And you also notice on here we have the loan period in months as 60 months. So it's a 5-year car loan that we're talking about here. So the monthly payments would be $566, and the total cost of this car loan is $33,960. So at the end of a 60-month term, assuming the loan is taken out all the way through the 60 months, the interest that would be paid in this scenario is $3,960 for a 5-year loan at $30,000. So we'll talk through a couple of the variables that impact your monthly payment. So first is the loan amount. So the loan amount is the amount that you're financing or refinancing. So if you're buying a vehicle, your loan amount is going to be your vehicle purchase price minus whatever down payment you put on the vehicle. If you're refinancing, your loan amount is going to be whatever balance remains that you owe on the vehicle. For the interest rate, that is the interest that's charged by a lender to provide you the loan. Typically, borrowers who have higher credit scores and better credit history will have the benefit of lower interest rates, and borrowers with lower credit scores will have higher interest rates on their car loan. And lastly, we'll talk about loan term. So a longer term will give you a lower monthly payment, but a shorter term, although it gives you a higher monthly payment, it reduces the total amount of interest that you pay, and we'll go through examples of each of these right now. So for loan amount, to lower your loan amount, that can be achieved by one, very simple, buy a car that's lower priced and you'll have a lower loan amount, or you can put down a larger down payment on your vehicle and that will give you a lower loan amount. What also happens when you refinance is when you've made payments on your loan, obviously with every payment, your loan amount goes down. So when you refinance, you're going to be refinancing at that lower amount of the existing balance that you have. And we'll go through an example of that in a moment. So in this scenario, we took a $30,000 car loan at 4.99 for 60 months and compared it to a $20,000 car loan at 4.99% interest rate and 60 months. Then you'll see the difference is the payment goes down by $189. So it goes from $566 to $377. And you also see that the total interest goes down. You can see the $30,000 car loan in the end costs $3,960 in interest. The $20,000 car loan ends up costing $2,640 in interest. So a reduction of $1,320 in total interest paid over the life of the loan. The other variable that can impact your monthly payment is interest rate. So again, as I'd mentioned earlier, a lower interest rate is achieved by having a higher credit score. Interest rates also vary from lender to lender. So, when someone takes out a car loan up front, they always have the opportunity to shop around and look for a lower interest rate so that they can refinance. So, shopping lender to lender is very important. And what a lower interest rate does is typically gives you a lower monthly payment and less interest that's paid over the life of the loan. So let's take a look at this scenario. We kept the loan amount the same, so we're comparing a $30,000 car loan to a $30,000 car loan. We kept the term the same, 60 months to 60 months. The only thing we changed is we took a 4.99% interest rate and we changed it to 2.99% to demonstrate the difference. So monthly, the reduction is $27, and that doesn't seem like much. It's easy to get focused on and fixated on the monthly payment. However, the big difference here is the amount of interest that's paid over the life of the loan. And an interest rate of 2.99 compared to 4.99 in this scenario ends up costing $1,624 less in interest paid over the life of the loan. So very important to pay attention to interest rate, not just because of the monthly payment, but what the loan is going to cost for the full term in the end. The last variable that I'll talk about is loan term. So typically the borrower gets to choose whatever loan term that they want within a lender's guidelines, as long as the borrower qualifies for it. And so in this scenario, we're looking at a shorter loan term. So as I had mentioned earlier, a shorter loan term is going to give you a higher monthly payment, but typically you'll end up paying less interest over the life of the loan. Terms can vary from 48 months to 84 months, so 4 to 7 years. But again, that all depends on the lender that you're working with, as well as your credit score as well. So your credit score can have an impact on how long you can take a loan out for. So in this scenario, we kept everything the same in our comparison. The only thing we changed was we went from 60 months as a term to 48 months as a term. And you can see that as far as monthly payment, it's $125 more each month. But the benefit here is that $804 less is paid in interest over the life of the loan. So yes, bigger monthly payment, but definitely a savings as far as the interest that's paid over the life of the loan. So we thought it'd be best to bring that to life by giving an example here. So we have a made-up borrower named Jack. So all these numbers, all these rates are made up. And as I had mentioned before, the only way to truly know what your payment will be, what your rate would be, is to apply and have your credit reviewed, your income reviewed. And that's really the only way we can tailor this information to you. But for illustration, let's talk about Jack. So Jack borrowed $40,000 to buy a vehicle. The interest rate that he borrowed it at was 5.99%, and the term was 60 months. The scheduled payment for this loan is $773.13. And so if this loan is taken and paid on for the full 60-month term, the total interest that would have been paid here is $6,387.56. 6 months after taking this loan out, Jack decided that he would like to refinance at a rate of 3.99 and have a 60-month term. So he's keeping the term the same. The only difference is he's refinancing to a lower interest rate. And so because it's 6 months in, this borrower had made 6 regular monthly payments. So now the new loan balance is $36,516.02. So with a lower interest rate of 3.99 and the remaining balance of $36,516.02, the loan is refinanced to a new 60-month term. The new payment is $672.33. So to bring it all together, the benefit here is that the monthly payment was reduced by $100.80, and the total interest that's paid over the life of the loan is reduced by $1,408.80. So very important to consider the reduction in your monthly payment and the amount of interest that you'll pay over the life of the loan when you're refinancing. And these types of scenarios we see happen pretty often, where someone may get financing through a dealer, or they may be, in a hurry to buy a vehicle, so they may not have an opportunity to really shop around and find the lowest rates that are out there. So someone may take a higher interest rate temporarily, and then we see where people will come back to us and say, hey, I see that you're offering a lower interest rate. I'd like to apply and see if I can refinance at the lower interest rate. So if that's something you're interested in, we'd certainly love to help you with that. So that said, I'm now going to turn it over to Carissa to talk to us about car buying research and tips.
All right, thank you, Saeed. Now, when you're looking at buying a car, the first thing that typically goes through your mind is, do you want to buy new or used? When you're looking at the differences between the two, there are some significant differences. So when you're looking at buying new, it is going to be more costly than buying a used vehicle, because you get the extra perks of having you get a factory warranty and things like that that come with the new vehicle. Now, when you're looking at the depreciation on a vehicle, when you buy used, that is actually going to be a better option, because the depreciation has already happened. That when you drive a new car off the lot, you're going to lose depreciation right off the bat. When other differences between new and used is you have a higher insurance cost when you have a new vehicle, because they are more expensive initially to fix at the time that the vehicle is brand new, compared to if it's a few years older. And there is one major difference, though, that you will have between the new and used that we will talk about a little bit later, and that's when you buy new, you're not going to have any prior damage or anything like that, or any type of prior use on the vehicle. But when you buy used, that is something that you're going to want to be cautious about, is making sure that the vehicle you are purchasing is in good condition. So, and also there's a lower interest rate when you're looking at a new vehicle versus a used, just because you do have that new warranty and you have more security in a new vehicle than what you do in a used.
Very good.
Now, when you're doing your vehicle research, it's always good to do that ahead of time before you go out and buy. So you're going to want to look at the type of vehicle you want. Do you want, how much is it going to cost to get repaired? Because if you think about it, a American vehicle such as a Chevy is going to be easier and cheaper to repair than something as a BMW. So there's plenty of websites out there to help you look at the differences between the two. You're going to have JD Power, you're going to have Consumer Reports, a lot of features that people are looking for these days is going to be like the gas mileage and the safety ratings. Those are also good things that you can look at in different websites you can go to, like fueleconomy.com for gas mileage. And safety ratings, there's several different websites that you can go out there for that. Now, one thing that you do want to do is when you're looking at the values of vehicles, you also want to make sure that you're looking at those through the website to see what the value of the vehicle is before you go and purchase. So that way you have an idea of what you should be paying. And websites that you can go to for that are going to be like NADA and the Kelley Blue Book. So those are some different research tips, things that you should keep in mind when you're looking. And Google is definitely going to be your friend through this whole process. So when you're looking also, if you're looking at our website and you're interested in applying, you're going to want to go to, under lending, you're going to click on the Vehicle Center tab. That is going to take you to our Vehicle Center page that's going to have significant amount of information on there for you. It's going to have ways that you can apply. And if you have questions, it's also going to have different sites and things that you can go to answer those questions. So the first thing that you want to do before you actually go out and buy a vehicle is the best thing to do is to get pre-approved. So when Saeed was talking about the rate shopping and things of that sort, if you're not one of those ones that's, I got to get the vehicle now, it's best to kind of do your shopping around with your rate, looking at different rates before you go. What that does is it helps you know what your rate is going to be, what your term, your amount that you're going to pay monthly is going to be, and what your term that you qualify for is. So when you get to the dealership, there's not going to be any surprises. So they're not going to be able to, they're not going to be able to, I guess, finagle you into some other type of financing because you already have your pre-approval letter with you. And it helps you negotiate when you're at the dealership too. So if the dealership is, let's say that your rate is 2.99 and you want to try to see what the dealership is going to offer and they're offering 3.99, you can already tell them that I already have my financing through my credit union and, I have a really good rate with them, so no thank you.
Good. All right, so along the same lines of what Carissa is talking about, I'll talk a little bit about a resource that we have on our website. So the way you would navigate to it is exactly what Carissa demonstrated. You go to our website, you go to the Vehicle Center under Lending, and what you'll notice there is Signal's Premier Auto Connection. So what Signal's Premier Auto Connection powered by TRUECAR is it provides you a couple of features. One, you can search for vehicles based on your budget, the year, makes, models, different colors, features, and I'll go into a brief demonstration of that in a moment. You can lock in exclusive savings for new and used vehicles. You can also go to the dealership knowing how much you should spend. So one of the things, and again, I'll show you what the screen looks like, but one of the things that's really neat about the Premier Auto Connection is it gives you an idea of what the market price is, what other people have paid for that same vehicle, so that you can make an educated decision on whether or not to buy the vehicle and how much you should spend on it. So again, this is the Vehicle Center that Carissa talked about earlier on our website. So you scroll down and you'll see there's a link for car buying service website. So let's start off with a demonstration, and just keep in mind that these screenshots are a little bit consolidated just for sake of time. So we encourage everyone to try this on their own and do their own search. So we'll start off with pricing and searching for a new vehicle. So let's say for demonstration, we're looking for a Toyota in zip code 20895. We go through the different screens of building out what color preferences we want, what options we want, what trim we want for the vehicle. And what we will get is a couple of things. One, it shows you what the MSRP is for that particular vehicle. It gives you what the market average is. And then what you see here is a button that says see member pricing on local inventory. You click there, and what that will do is once you've established what the options are and the specific vehicle that you want, it'll give you what the local inventory is in your area. So these vehicles, keep in mind, probably not available because these are screenshots that we had taken from before. But for illustration, let's say we were looking for a 2019 Toyota Camry in the zip code 20895. These are the first few options that came up. So one is from this Toyota dealership that was in close proximity to that zip code. So you can see, okay, let's say we were interested in this white 2019 Toyota Camry that I have highlighted in yellow. We would click on see Camry offers, but before that, I just wanted to call out one thing. A sales rep will likely reach out. So when you get to this point, just be aware that when you put in your information, someone will likely reach out to you to discuss your car buying. So just want to make sure there are no surprises for anyone that goes out and tries this. And so when you click on that particular vehicle, it gives you this overview screen here. So a couple of things I want to call out. You saw the MSRP earlier. What's neat here is it gives you what's called a true price. So you can go to the dealership, and if you're happy and satisfied with what this price is here, you can print this out and you go to the dealership and say, hey, here's the true price that I received by using, the Signal Premier Auto Connection powered by TRUECAR, and they will honor the price that you have here. No need to negotiate, and your price is already set. However, keep in mind, if you see this price here and you feel that you'd like to negotiate more, you feel like there's some more room to negotiate, by all means, you can certainly go in and go through that process and negotiate on the vehicle. So this doesn't mean that this is the only price that you can get. What this means is if you're satisfied with this price and you're comfortable paying this price for this vehicle, this is the price that you're going to get with negotiation already happening for you. And on the right, it's a little bit hard to see. It's easier to see if you were to navigate and, play with it on your own. But I'll give you an idea of what's on here. So you can see what the base MSRP is. You can see what the cost is for all the different options that are there. And then there's also what's listed here as guaranteed savings. So what TRUECAR does is it gives you different discounts. So there's a $1,500 dealer MSRP discount. There's a partner discount for $100. There's a Toyota Camry factory cash back for $1,500. So altogether with the discounts and everything, as well as fees. So what's also nice is, it gives you the fees up front. There's nothing worse than showing up somewhere and not being aware of what the fees are, and then you show up and find out there's a $1,000 processing fee or an $800 dealership fee, or something of that sort. What's nice here is those fees are all listed out for you, so it's all built into the price that you get. Another thing that I want to demonstrate here is you also get a market average. So that's what I wanted to show you on here. So the market average is $23,080. So again, that gives you some negotiating power, knowing, okay, this is the price that people typically pay for this vehicle in this market, in this region. So again, that's another factor to help you with negotiating and determining a fair price for a vehicle. Now we'll talk a little bit about the used car search. So let's say, for example, we were looking for a Chevrolet Corvette in zip code 20895. So there are several filters on here. It all depends on, what you want to customize and what you want to tailor your search to. So a couple of the filters are price, trim, mileage, year, color, transmission, drivetrain. There's so many more. Obviously, you can leave those blank if that's not important to you and you just want to see as many cars as possible. But if you're trying to tailor it down to something specific, you certainly have the option to do so. And as you filter it out, the cars that fit your parameters will show up on the right. So let's say we clicked on a vehicle here and we were interested in it. It gives you an overview of what the vehicle is. It gives you what the price is for that vehicle. And then again, it gives you a true price breakdown that shows you any discounts that the dealer is willing to offer, any perks that they're willing to give you. Like in this case here, it's listed that you get an oil change, you get delivery. Obviously, you'd have to coordinate that with the dealership. You get a car wash, and then they're upfront with what the fees are for this particular vehicle. If you were to scroll down, you also see options and packages and all other different things. So very robust search engine that's built into TRUECAR. And so what's also nice is, just like for the new car, you can print out a true price certificate. And this is something, again, if you're happy with the price that's there, you can take this to the dealership and say, all right, I've got this certificate. Here's how much I want to pay for this vehicle. And they will honor that price for you. And it includes any discounts and everything of that sort. All right, Carissa, you want to talk to us about the CARFAX vehicle history report?
Sure. Thank you, Saeed, for giving us the information on the TRUECAR and how to navigate that. Now, the next step when you're looking at buying a used car is you definitely want to look at either doing like an auto check or a CARFAX vehicle history report. Now, here at Signal, we have a partnership with CARFAX, so that's the one that we use consistently when we're looking at vehicles for our members. When you're looking for the CARFAX report, the overview that you're going to look at is it's going to show you if the vehicle has been in any accidents, if there's any damage to the vehicle, how many owners the vehicle has had, or how many owners the car has had, the service history of the vehicle, the type of ownership, and the reading. The odometer reading. So it will actually tell you, it'll break down every time the vehicle is serviced. If there's been a new title issued, it'll also break that down inside here as well. So when you're looking at the detailed history report, it will actually go over oil changes, if the tires or brakes have been changed, any other maintenance, if a new title has been issued, when registration has been issued. It will also go into a detailed accident report. On some of them, not on this one it doesn't look like, but on some of the CARFAX reports, it'll actually tell you where the damage is to the vehicle and how much or how severe the damage is. So that way you know up front what type of damage has happened to the vehicle. So that way it can help you decide if this is going to be the exact vehicle for you and if you're okay with the damage that's been done to the vehicle. So let's see. Also, when you're looking at the CARFAX report and you're looking at an older used vehicle, you definitely want to look at something called like an extended warranty. We offer one through Route 66. That's the company that we go through for our extended warranty, and they have different levels of service. Now, it's the Easy Street, Main Street, and First Street. Now, what you want to do is when you're looking at any vehicles, you can get these on used vehicles, but you can also get these on new vehicles. Sometimes when you're looking at a new vehicle, there is the bumper-to-bumper warranty that the dealership is going to sell or is going to come with the vehicle, and they're also going to try to sell you an extended warranty on top of that. But looking and pricing out extended warranties is definitely going to be your best option. You know, sometimes the dealership warranty that they're going to offer for their extended warranty is not in the best price range. The Route 66 warranty is going to cover just as much, if not more, than what their extended warranty will cover. Now, when you look at it for a used vehicle, it is great to have, because if those unforeseen accidents happen, or if something happens and the vehicle has an issue with the electrical, or if the vehicle has an issue with the transmission, that's all going to be covered underneath the extended warranty. Now, if you're looking at it for a new vehicle, sometimes, and in most cases, there are things that are covered underneath an extended warranty that won't be covered underneath your bumper-to-bumper warranty. So it's always good to look through, make sure that you're getting the best price on the warranty, and making sure that the items, that are important to you are covered underneath that warranty as well. And the last thing that you want to look at, especially when you're getting a new vehicle or even a used vehicle, is going to be gap insurance, or gap asset protection is what it's called. It's interchangeable. So it can be called gap insurance or gap asset protection. And what it is let's say that you have an auto, your loan amount is going to be for $20,000, but the vehicle value is only for 16. There is going to be that gap between the 16 and the 20,000 that if for some unforeseen reason the vehicle is totaled by natural disaster, or it's in an accident and totaled, or if it's stolen and not recovered, that you're going to be responsible for if the insurance company comes back and says the value of this vehicle is only $16,000. So you want to make sure that you're covering, you have the gap protection to be able to cover that gap between what you owe on the vehicle and what its value actually is. So it's very important on even new vehicles to have that, because a lot of times consumers, what they do is they trade in a vehicle and there's an upside down amount on that vehicle. So they roll that into the new loan. So therefore you're automatically sometimes going to be upside down on the new vehicle that you purchase. And that's a good reason to have gap as well, is to make sure that that amount is going to be covered.
Very good. So in closing, we wanted to just give a quick summary and talk about any next steps that may be out there. So one is, as we had mentioned and demonstrated earlier, make sure you leverage an online calculator if you want to calculate a payment for a vehicle that you'd like to buy, or calculate what your payment would be if you were to refinance. So we think this is a great first step just to figure out your budget. The other reminder is a higher credit score is always going to give you more favorable loan terms, so better interest rate and more options as far as loan term, dollar amount of your loan, all those other things come along with having a higher credit score. Again, it's up to you. If you're in the market for a vehicle, it's up to you to decide if new or used best suits you, depending on your preferences. And if you are thinking about buying a car, or you are thinking about refinancing, please feel free to visit our website to review our rates, review the different options that we have, and of course, apply. That's going to be your first step to starting the process with us. That would be at www.signalfinancialfcu.org. And remember, the decision to buy a vehicle or the decision to refinance is all about you. So it's all going to come down to what's the best for your scenario. And we're happy to walk through the different options that we have for you and different resources that we can provide to help guide you with your car buying and your car refinancing. So that said, we thank you for your time, and we hope to do business with you, or we hope to be able to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.